Cool beans. Are you guys both here on campus?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yep. Should we wait a couple minutes before we start?
I
If
guess so.
Austin joins. So what are you both studying?
Just applied to the nursing program, so I'll hear back next month.
Cool.
That's
So-
cool.
I'm studying biology.
Biology.
Cool.
That's cool.
What about you?
Oh, I'm studying math education.
Oh yeah, I saw that on your
Oh,
link.
yeah.
Cool. So wait, did you want to be a teacher because of that, or what?
Because of
Like your major? You want to be a teacher?
oh, yeah. Yeah,
What grade would you go into?
most likely high school. I'm not sure what grade though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yes. I'll just send a text to see if he's gonna.
Yeah, I didn't register that he just had his first child. That is really cool.
I know. I was like,
Weird.
Yeah, I just read
Busy.
like something happened. I was like, okay, whatever, and I didn't read the rest of it.
I know. I didn't really read it, and then I looked back and I was like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. Crazy.
Yeah.
Have you guys done this Google Hangout thing before?
No, it's my first time.
I've done it one other time.
Okay, so you know what we're doing.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. You just have to make sure when you set it up that when you start talking, you click like the start broadcast at the bottom so it records. But
Oh, okay. And you're doing that? Like you're in charge of that?
yeah, I have it.
That's weird. Like I've done Google Hangouts, but I've never done this live chat where other people can see your video.
No.
Oh, yeah.
So what you did, you just went to YouTube and then you did create video. And then you just start. I guess you haven't started it yet, but you're ready to start it.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Oh, I just got your text.
When the actual video starts.
I guess we could start talking about it.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, sounds good. To talk about biostatistics.
We're talking about the preparation thing, right?
Yeah, like that worksheet.
And then don't we take a quiz together too?
I think
That
we take it after we do this, just saying that we.
Okay.
saying that we did it?
And I think in like her email or something that she posted on like the main page. I'm not sure. I think she said like the group leader, so me post that in the group quiz, like the link to our video.
For a discussion about it?
And I think that's the group part of the group quiz.
Okay. I've just never done this kind of online chat group thing before.
Yeah, it's
I've
kind
done
of
like in-person group things, but not this chat. So I don't know if there's any like requirement for time or
She
um,
said, I remember reading it was 15 minutes at least, and it could
okay.
go to an hour,
Okay.
but it's not like a big deal at the
Okay.
time limit.
Okay. I
It's
don't
just a
know.
reminder from the syllabus.
okay.
Cool.
So, um, here's me to start. I'm just looking at like the worksheet.
Mm-hmm.
So like the 5 steps of the statistical process. So yeah,
Is the design, the study,
starting.
collect the data, describe the data to make inferences, and take action.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that video that she posted?
The
It was the under the individual preparation, like lesson 2, part 1.
Was it about Daniel or?
Yeah, I saw it was like an acronym or something. Like Daniel.
Oh, yeah, she had like letters with the.
so I can't remember if I
Like,
wrote it down.
it says Daniel can discern more truth, and it was like an acronym for those 5 steps, and I thought that was pretty cool.
I just got a
Oh.
text from Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he wouldn't be able to make it.
Okay.
He's at the doctor's.
Mm,
His baby.
the baby.
I know.
That's so sad. That'd be hard. Okay. Are we starting? Like, is this started?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I really like that acronym for the 5 steps because that would kind of help just remember what they are. But
Yeah, that was.
It's probably the text message I just.
was that you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm looking at the acronym right now. It was DCDMT.
Yeah. Daniel can discern more truth.
Yeah, I like that.
I thought that was pretty good for an acronym.
Cool.
Okay. So yes. You guys want to talk about question 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Match the
So
following statistical terms with their appropriate definitions.
Mm-hmm.
The simple random sample, stratified, systematic, and cluster.
I had guessed C at first, like the computer generated, and then I like second guessed myself. So I was like, oh, that's probably not what it is, and it totally was the right answer. So.
Yeah.
uh,
Simple random sampling. That's right. It's C.
Mm-hmm.
Stratified sampling.
That one was A, but do you guys understand like the homogeneous versus the heterogeneous? Like the cluster sampling is heterogeneous and the stratified sampling is homogeneous. Do you guys understand that? Because I didn't.
I don't understand. I didn't notice that.
I don't know what that means either. That's a good
Okay.
question.
Because I was looking through the textbook or the online thing. I don't remember where it is. But I just remember it said that somewhere. A stratified sample is when items to be sampled are organized in groups similar to each other. So I'm assuming the other would just be like they're not the same, like they're not organized in similar patterns. I don't know.
I think it's more random, like the cluster sampling.
Hmm. Yeah, because it says like it hopefully represents the population.
So they're just hoping if they like randomly select people out of like a large population that it'll represent everyone well.
Yeah, I assume so. Okay. And systematic is that one was kind of the easier one. Like they're in a sequential order. Like
Yeah.
systematic, pretty
Yeah.
self-explanatory, I guess.
And then clusters D.
Hmm. Do you guys have like any? Do you like have any weird things to help you remember these? I don't know if it's like these in general, but do you guys do that when you study? Like you try to make some weird connection?
Yeah,
Sometimes.
sometimes. This one, I didn't really do anyone.
I didn't either. I just did the Daniel Kin thing. That was it.
Yeah. With the different samplings, I think if you just look at the just the words that go before sampling, like random, it's like pretty obvious what that one is. Stratified. Um, I don't know, just like all those words just kind of hint at what type of sampling it is.
Mhm.
Maybe just remember that like the stratified one and then the cluster one, just that cluster is more random.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Queens.
You guys good with that one? Should we move on?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Descriptions of the terms. So an experiment, I kind of saw that as where the scientists or whoever's in charge of the experiment, they just kind of like they control all the stuff in the study.
mm,
Um, so like everything that's happening is something that they've already set up. That makes sense.
Yeah.
observational study. I thought that one was pretty obvious,
Yeah.
which is nice. I just think of people watching, like
Yeah.
when I see that. So,
Yeah.
um,
Easy
I
one.
thought it was interesting though that it said like you have no control because like the experiment you totally have control, but observational study they emphasize like you just observe, but you have no control. Like you're not trying to stop what happens or anything. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Okay.
treatment.
Treatment.
I mean, I read the definition, but
I think it was just like, well, because it talked about like the treatment group and then the controlled group.
mhm.
So I think the treatment is it just the people that are being like, I don't know, treated?
They're being like tested on.
Yeah, tested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like the control would be um um just like without like if we were to like if specifically I don't know if I would explain without doing it specifically, but like if I were to give you a medicine, the control group would be like a medicine capsule without any medicine inside of it,
Mm.
and then the treatment group would be the group that actually took the medicine with actual things in the capsule. If that makes sense.
So it's just the treatment, the thing that's like being tested
Yeah.
or used to test.
Used to test them, yeah. Yeah. It said that they like apply some sort of treatment and then they observe the effect of that. So it kind of makes sense with the example that you gave.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Then the response variable, that's just the in other terms you could put that as the dependent variable. It's um It's like what changes after something is introduced. Like maybe their temperature, maybe their health, or maybe their I don't know. It's like what you're measuring, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
That makes sense, yeah. Because then the treatment would be the independent variable, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so the subjects are just,
The experimentees.
yeah, experimental. I think and it said experimental units, but it says it's also another words for like the people being tested.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep. Next question. Define the null and alternative hypothesis. So the null hypothesis is the actual hypothesis that you have, what you think is going to happen. And then the alternative hypothesis, I understand, is the opposite. So it's like saying this treatment isn't going to work, but really I think it's going to work. That makes sense.
Yeah. It's like what you think and then what would happen, whether or not it was right. Like just the opposite of it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. P-value.
That I think it said it was the probability.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. I don't think I've ever taken like a statistics class, but like in math classes, they definitely have you do a lot of probability stuff. So
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Do you guys think p-value is similar to the standard deviation?
Okay.
I don't know. I was just asking. I was just wondering.
It could be. I don't know.
Be just another name for the standard deviation. I don't know.
Because, and then like in one of the later paragraphs, it talked a little bit more about the p-value. I'm not sure if it's for like, it has to be, but it was saying the probability of obtaining a result. So like you can test like observing the errors with a total value. So you can see if like the probability is high or low enough to see if the result or the
Yeah.
hypothesis is like correct or not.
Right.
Yeah. That's true. I think if the lower the p-value, the more correct the data is, I guess you could say.
I think so. I'm trying to remember what I looked at, but it was showing an example of like a probability. And yeah, I think it was like putting, I don't know, like if you're testing something, if there's like how many people are not going to get sick, but then like say like 10 of them get sick out of the total, I think then that like fraction of sick versus the population would be like the margin of error. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, that
Like
makes sense.
probability.
Yeah.
Like
I
the
like
last.
the margin of error. That makes sense. Putting that with the p-value. Cool.
All right. Next one.
Number 6. This is which determining what sampling method would work for each scenario. The first one is medical student researchers the prevalence of aspirin usage by questioning all of the patients who enter in the clinic for treatment. Wouldn't that one be convenience?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's kind of like just taking whoever comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It says that convenience samples should be avoided. Like,
Yeah.
it's not a good basis for testing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because you're only getting like one type of person instead of representing the whole population.
Yeah.
Okay. The second one, the Colorado Department of Health obtains an alphabetical list of 2 million adult Colorado residents and constructs a pool of survey subjects by selecting every 1,000th name on the list after randomly choosing one person from the first 1,000 on the list.
So that one would be systematic. I think.
Yeah,
Yep.
like some sequential order. Yeah, that makes
1,000th name.
every 1,000th. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so the next one, in a gala pool of 1,059 adults, the interview subjects were selected by using a computer to randomly generate telephone numbers that were then called. So, it's just a simple random.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Next one, a dietitian has partitioned people into age categories of under 18, 18 to 49, 50, 69, and over 60. He's surveying a simple random sample of 200 members from each category. This one would be the stratified because he's dividing them up and then picking 200 from each category.
Yeah. It says like similar characteristics.
Yep.
Their age group.
He like stratifies it, but then after he does that, he randomly selects them.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Cool.
John Hopkins University.
So the last one, a Johns Hopkins University researcher surveys all cardiac patients in each of 30 randomly selected hospitals. So that would,
Cluster.
it says it's cluster. I'm trying to just
Let's see.
process that.
That hopefully represent the population.
You guys understand that one? I think maybe I get mixed up with like stratified and with cluster.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but
I think the difference is with stratified, you have a reason for grouping the population the way you did.
mm-hmm.
So like E, he didn't. There's no reasoning for grouping the 30 hospitals into one group. He just kind of like randomly selected 30 hospitals.
Right.
I just see stratified as more of like organizing the data before picking
Mm-hmm.
From each group, and clusters more of picking one group and surveying everyone from that group.
Okay.
That's,
All right. Should we go on?
Yeah.
yeah.
So number 7. Let's see. So if they take a simple random sample of doctors and then sample all the patients that the doctor works with. So it says that one's a cluster sampling too. Yes. I guess, yeah, because it's similar to the one that we just did because they're like kind of picking random groups, but then they sample all of them
Right.
in those groups.
Cool.
Okay.
B, they put all the residents' names in a computer and use a random number generator to get a sample of 100 patients. That'd be simple random sampling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Computer generated.
Yep.
See, they divide the residents up by gender and then do a simple random sample of residents within each gender. Would that be stratified because of the age?
I think so, because they're being more like specific and how they.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So they randomly pick key intersections in the city and then picking every fifth person that walks by after randomly picking one of the first 5 people to be in the sample. That one's systematic.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay.
Okay.
Question number 8. Determine for each scenario whether it is an observational study or an experimental design. If it is an experimental design, determine the response, treatment, and subjects. So A, the Center for Disease Control obtains current flu data by randomly polling 300 men and 300 women. I think that'd be systematic. It would be,
Well, we're talking about either if it's observational or experimental.
oh, right. It would be observational.
Yeah, there's no treatment or response or anything.
Yeah.
Okay. B, you plan to conduct an experiment to test the effectiveness of Sleep Ease, a new drug that is supposed to reduce insomnia. So you randomly divide 1,000 patients into 2 groups, where half get Sleep Ease and the other a placebo. You record the gender of each subject. You will then observe how many hours of sleep they get in a week. So experimental.
Okay. Yeah.
So determine the response, the treatment, and the subjects. So the response is the dependent, and the treatment is the independent.
Yeah, so the response would be the hours of sleep they get in a week. It's like,
Yeah.
that's what they're,
And the independent would be the sleepies, like the treatment, right?
yeah.
Cool.
And the subject would be the patients.
Awesome. So question number 9. In September 2004, Nucris Pharmaceuticals announced the results for its first human trial of NPI 32,101, a topical form of its skin ointment. A total of 224 patients diagnosed with skin irritations were randomly divided into 3 groups as part of a double-blind, placebo-controlled study to test the effectiveness of a new topical cream. The first group received a 0.5% cream. The second group received a 1% cream. The third group received a placebo. Groups were treated twice a day for a 6-week period, and the degree of skin irritation was recorded at the time. It's a designed experiment because they are controlling like what they're doing and for what time period.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like very specific. I think any of the experiments are specific.
Yeah.
What are the subjects? The groups.
Yeah, the patients.
Mm-hmm.
What is the response variable? Is that like how much or the degree of skin irritation that they have? It's like how well the cream is working on them.
Mm-hmm. And the treatment would be like how much they give them, if they give them any at all.
Yep.
So
Exactly. Awesome.
Cool.
sweet.
And
Well,
then,
good discussion, guys.
yeah.
That's good.
Okay, and then do we have to do another one by Thursday, right?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm not sure how that works. Is it twice a week or once a week?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. Because it says that there's a group collaboration, but is that our quiz? No.
Sure.
Oh, so like I guess it looks like we meet once, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
It has the group meeting quiz, and then you have to post the link on the discussion board, right?
I think so. I'm not sure. Like,
We could ask her. We could just say, "Hey, do we meet more than once?" Okay, cool.
okay.
So are you gonna do that then, Julie?
Yes. So I think, yeah. I'll just post the link in the quiz. That's good. Okay.
So I'm on the island right now, and we just did lesson 2. There's a lesson 3 that's also this week.
That's this week?
Yeah.
Oh.
So under
I
week
see.
2, we have week 1. We already did week 1. Week 2 has lesson 2 and lesson 3.
Okay, that makes sense.
So it says the next group meeting is due September 21st at 11 p.m.
So what works for you guys before then? Like good times. I mean, I'm in class like most of the day on Tuesday and Thursday, but like Wednesday between like 12 and 4, I'm free. I don't know when you guys have school.
Wednesday's kind of hard for me because I have a lab. I could do it later on in the afternoon. Like the later the better would be for me. Actually, any other days this week.
I mean, we could do tomorrow, but I don't know. Wait, when did you say it was due?
It's due the 21st,
So on Thursday.
but it's due at like 11 p.m. So
Oh,
we
okay.
we could do it Thursday.
Yeah, I'm good with Thursday, like in the evening, if you guys want.
Yeah, that's cool.
Works for me.
Okay.
Works for me.
Okay, cool.
Awesome, guys.
Okay. See you guys on
See ya.
Thursday.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.